I tried cutting out my afternoon nap. This is what happened. I woke up today not from a nap, but from a lifetime of sleepwalking. And what I found on the other side surprised me. Pauses. I thought I was just waking up from a nap, but I realized I had been sleepwalking through my afternoons for years. They say time is what we want most, but use worst. I used to nap away an hour or two every afternoon. And one day I decided to stop, not because someone told me to, but because I wondered what else I might be doing with that time. If you told me a month ago that giving up my nap would change my life, I'd have laughed. But here I am. Where does my time go? That was the question I kept asking myself as I stared at my empty chair today. My old routine. Afternoons of rest and routine. Every day after lunch it was the same. No matter how busy or restful the morning, by 1:30 p.m., my eyelids grew heavy like curtains closing on a stage. I'd brew a cup of tea, grab my favorite shawl, and settle into that old recliner. Back in the day, I stayed on my feet from sunup to sundown. But age and comfort crept in. Napping felt like a rite of passage. Well, a little break, I thought, a deserved one. I used to see my afternoons as sacred, a time to rest, reflect, or perhaps just do nothing at all. But over time, I began to wonder, was it rest I needed or something else? Daydreams and dust bunnies, what the afternoon takes away. I joked to myself, maybe I'm hiding from chores or responsibilities. But jokes aside, I was beginning to feel unsettled. Why was I nap-clinging so desperately? Why I decided to stop, the first doubts. It started with a tiny thought, what if I didn't? When I was young, I had so much energy. Summers at the farm, dancing in the kitchen at midnight, I could go all day. I didn't nap then. I recalled a day from long ago when my husband and I were first married. We took the children to a picnic. The grass tickled the children's toes, and we ran barefoot under the sun. Even as new parents with tiny babies, we never planned for afternoon sleeps. We just played. So why was I so in love with those naps now? Maybe because life was quieter now, and the minutes felt heavier. I questioned if I was just tired or something deeper. Doctors always say short naps can help, but I read that long naps might do more harm than good. I chuckled. My naps were never short. 2 hours or more every day. I can't tell you how surprised my doctor was. Fatigue or avoidance. That became my new mantra. Was I actually exhausted, or was I escaping something? Anxiety, solitude, fear of doing chores, maybe all of the above. I'm the type who likes a plan. So I made one. Starting today, the nap chair will stay empty. I'm not a fool, though. I know how easy it is to break a promise to yourself. I figured I needed something to keep me accountable, or at least a witness. Myself, and perhaps you. The first week, days of tired resistance. Day 1 began with determination. Instead of lying down, I propped up my feet and opened a new novel. 30 minutes in, I was nodding off into my chapters. I smacked my hand lightly. No, FD. Do this. So I did. A walk to the kitchen kept me upright. The sun was warm through the window. I realized I hadn't actually felt the sun on my face in the middle of the day in years. Turns out, things need dusting. By evening, I felt odd, a bit lightheaded but also alive. I noticed colors were brighter. It's like I'd taken the edge off the world's noise. The second day, I replaced napping with something I hadn't done in years. I walked. The garden behind my house is small, but when you're awake enough to see it, I'd forgotten how many flowers we planted. Rosy pinks, midnight blue irises, and sunflowers who wave at the afternoon sun. I used to rush through this garden, off to make dinner or errands. But on day 2, I lingered. I didn't feel like I was filling time either. I felt like I was living in it. Wednesday afternoon, I admit I felt low energy again. Headache creeping in. It was tempting to just give in, curl up. We did this without naps. We can do it. I drank water, leaned out the window, and fed the birds. By 4 p.m., I felt more normal. And by bedtime, I slept like a baby. Good sleep had become a stranger to me in recent years. But that night, I met an old friend. Feeling awake. Afternoon felt like morning. I called my sister, baked cookies. Little triumphs. By Thursday, I noticed time again for family calls, hobbies. Even making cookies, something I used to love. Who needs to nap when there are cookies to bake? Friday gave me confidence. I spent the afternoon quilting. A quilt I started last year. Before, I would have napped through this. But now, by late afternoon, I already had half the quilt done. I felt like a young girl again, crafting and humming. By the weekend, I could tell my husband was surprised too. At first, he asked, "Weren't you going to nap?" By Sunday, he just smiled. I even found us dancing to old tunes as the afternoon light came in. I looked in the mirror, wondering, what was I hiding from? Loneliness? The fact that my grandkids were growing up so fast? Or perhaps the ticking clock of my own age? 1 week down, I was surprised I hadn't fallen apart. In fact, maybe I was waking up. Week 2 and 3, freshness and clarity bloom. 2 weeks in, and I felt something blossoming. Clarity. The afternoons no longer dragged, they danced. I found I could read the Sunday paper cover to cover. Did you know there's a new library program for seniors? I'm going. Instead of missing my nap, I can catch up on mystery novels or science magazines. When the clock struck 3 p.m., I felt awake, curious, eager. I tried playing guitar again after lunch. The strings were rusty under my fingers, but the melody reminded me of youth. Music, books, conversation, all missed afternoon joys returned. Who would have thought that skipping a nap could knit you closer to life? My needles flew. My mind felt crisp as new linen. I used to tell my grandkids, never stop learning. By giving up naps, I realized that's easier said than done. But I'm doing it. I discovered a different kind of rest. Something quiet, mindful. A meditation cushion replaced the blanket. I learned the difference. True rest renews. Waste just sleeps away moments. As week 2 closed, I felt my mind sharpen. Anxiety that always lurked in the afternoon haze was lifting. 3 weeks in, I felt more alive than I had in years. My nights were restful. I dreamed again. Nights no longer felt like battles. I now embraced bedtime calmly. Who knew I'd start writing postcards? I sent one to my sister. Having extra time, remember how to spell fun again. And my grandkids, they love it. Granny's not sleeping, she's dancing, they say. I tell them, come on then, let's two-step. Physically, it was like waking up from hibernation. More energy meant yoga in the mornings, not crawling on the couch in afternoons. Spiritually, I felt awake too. I started afternoons with a prayer or a moment of gratitude instead of a nap. There's something sacred about being fully present under the afternoon sun. We even planned things together in those hours, a walk, a phone call, writing letters. We remembered who we were before life got busy. 3 weeks without my nap, and I had found something I thought I lost. It wasn't a lack of energy, it was a return of my own time. Let me give you this lessons and metaphors, wisdom in the silence. In these quiet afternoons, I learned a lot about life. About rest and about avoidance, about clocks and hearts. Life is like this hourglass. Each grain of sand is a precious moment. When I napped, I was watching the sand slip by without seeing it. Now I watch each grain fall. My mother once said, "Don't let the day slip through your fingers." I never understood until now. The afternoon sun feels like life's second chance each day. I've tended my garden for decades, but when the sun is highest, I used to be inside napping. Now I see the sky, touch the leaves, and know that time is ripe. Those photos hold moments I once took. Birthdays, road trips, weddings. If I had napped during those days, I'd never forgive myself. My grandmother taught me that time is the one thing you can't get back. She never took naps, not because she had to, but because she was scared of missing life. When I finally asked myself that question, the answer wasn't about tiredness. It was about fear. Fear that I wouldn't do enough or face enough of this new chapter of life. Now, I spend that hour after lunch doing small things that light me up, like evening out the day with a bit of light. The sun shining on my face feels like a spiritual balm. I realized an afternoon nap was just hiding from the light of day and maybe from my own thoughts. True rest doesn't always mean sleep. Sometimes it's a peaceful moment, a walk in the garden, or talking to a friend. That is real nourishment. Practical tips for golden years, living purposefully after 60. I'm no expert. I'm just an old lady who realized something important. But if you're an older adult like me, maybe these ideas can help make your golden years shine. First, start small. Replace half of your nap. If you usually nap for an hour, try doing 30 minutes of quiet sitting first, like sipping tea on the porch or listening to your favorite song. Begin with small changes. Try 10 to 30-minute quiet time after lunch. Savor the sunshine. Sit by a window or step outside. Asterisk. For me, I set an alarm, not to wake me up, but to wake me out of the house. At 2:45 p.m., a cheerful beep reminds me, time to live. Second, make it meaningful. Use that time for something that feeds your soul. I talk to my plants, read poetry, write letters. You could call a friend, do a puzzle, or enjoy the silence. Instead of feeling guilty about chores not done, I found this time of day perfect for gentle hobbies. Even watering the ferns can be meditative. Third, listen to your body. If you're truly exhausted, maybe a nap is fine. But ask yourself, is it exhaustion or habit? I learned to distinguish real tiredness from the urge to escape. Occasionally, I still take a 15-minute cat nap. There's nothing wrong with that. It's rejuvenating. Just don't let it become your default refuge. Fourth, engage with others. Share tea or cookies with your kids or neighbors at 3 p.m. A simple conversation over weather or recipes can light up an afternoon. Golden years are precious. The sun won't hang in the sky forever for us. So I learned to treat every afternoon as a gift. Use it, love it. Take up a gentle hobby, gardening, knitting, painting. Go for walks or do light exercise. Volunteer or join community groups. Help others in the quiet afternoon hours. Meditate or pray, even for 5 minutes, to find peace without sleeping. By walking with purpose, even slowly I found more smiles and less yawns. Remember, at our age, we have wisdom that the young envy. We've lived through storms and rainbows. This simple experiment taught me that we can still learn, still grow, and still seize the day or afternoon. Sharing the journey. Saying goodbye to my nap was the hardest and best thing I've done in a long while. It felt like letting go of a safety blanket. But on the other side, I found clarity, energy, and heart. Maybe you're watching this and thinking, I could never do that, or I should try that. Whatever you're feeling, know this. It's not about guilt or forcing yourself. It's about asking, what can I gain? What am I missing? I invite you, look at your own afternoons. Are you resting or hiding? Are you closing your eyes or closing off life's beauty? No judgment, just questions. I asked them and they changed me. If this little journey of mine meant anything, let it be a reminder that every day holds something precious. You might discover something about yourself in those quiet hours. If I can share one gift from this experiment, it's this. There's still so much to do, see, and feel at our age. Every minute counts, and we deserve to feel alive to enjoy it. Please take a moment. Share below. What are your thoughts? Do you nap too? What will you try today? I'd love to hear your own habits and stories in the comments. We can learn from each other. Thank you for sitting with me this afternoon. I hope you carry this question in your heart. Are you truly awake to life's moments? Until next time, take care of yourself and maybe give your afternoon a chance. I'm glad I did.